Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a couple of self-releasing techniques, specifically for your lower body, your calves, groin muscles, which are super important, heavily underrated, quads, and also your glutes. And also we're going to hit the lateral side of the leg, the IT band and the VLO. So I got my foam roller here. I got a few different options. This foam roller, a softer one, in case I want to get certain spots that are a little bit more sensitive, such as the groin muscle, as well as a trigger ball, which can come in handy for things like the calf as well as the SI joint. So let's get started here. So first one I'm going to show you guys right here is going to be the calf one. So what you want to do with the calf one is you want to try and find the spot. What you want to do is once you find that spot, right now this is where you're getting into the soleus muscle, is you add a bit more pressure with the other leg and you just relax. Once you find that spot, you just kind of sit there for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then once you're done with that, when you move up a little bit more, you're often going to find trigger points on the inside and also on the outside as well. But the key is relaxing the muscle, taking some deep breaths, and you just find that spot and you just let it sit there. So ideally each muscle group you want to sit on it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next one is I'm going to show the groin muscle. So you get into it like so, get into this position here, and you find the spot. It takes a bit of time. You want to get into this area in here. This is where a lot of those muscles, they insert right into the bone, so it's going to be quite sensitive. And also your VMO muscle is right in there. So you find the spot, you relax. There we go, you relax. And there's a misconception where when people mention, the foam roller, they think they're should be rolling around, whereas most of the time, once you find that trigger point, once you find that pain point, you just kind of sit and you relax for about 30 seconds. And then what you want to do, especially with the groin, you want to go up into this area as well. And if it's too sensitive, then what I like to do is I like to use the softer one as well. As long as you're able to relax, take some deep breaths, and you just let that leg rest right on the foam roller. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus in on the quads. And with the quads, same thing. You wanna be able to find that spot. And once you find that spot, you just kind of relax. The key is just relaxing. There's a lot of trigger points here, so you wanna just relax. Not worry about the rolling, just let the foam roller sink. On the side, it's going to be quite sensitive, so what I like to use a lot of the time is go with the softer one. But once again, you just want to try and relax, and you bring this leg up and you put as much weight as you can tolerate. See right there, I can feel it right away. You want to hit that spot. Right now I'm actually hitting more, rather than the IT band, I'm hitting more the vastus lateralis muscle, which is often when people do foam roll, that's the muscle they feel the most. Right in there, and you go right down. When you're in this position, you also want to try and hit the TFL muscle, which sits right in between your femur bone and also your hip bone there. You want to try and find that. You can often find it, but it's difficult. This is the muscle that gives you a lot of the stability when you're walking or running. So releasing it after your runs or after your exercises, after your gym, after your training is super important. You want to sit there for about 2 to 3 minutes as well. And now you're going more into your TFL, into your hip flexors in there. and you just relax. And lastly, the last spot I like to hit is the point where the glute muscles insert right onto the sacrum. You want to find that spot. Imagine you're in a yoga class, because once again, the whole point of this is to try and get as deep as we can and to try and get those deep trigger points. And usually the tendons are the spots where the Golgi tendon organs sit, and that's essentially what controls your muscle tension as well. So that's why this is a great one for the glutes, because of the fact that you're hitting those Golgi tendon organs, and they're little proprioceptive spindles that, well, as I mentioned, they control how much tension the muscle has. So working on these guys and loosening them up helps not only this area, but also the whole glute tension. We can also use a ball, a little trigger ball, for that spot as well. It's pretty good. Kind of a little bit more direct, a little bit more painful. So with all these, you don't want it being too painful to the point where you can't bear it, because if you can't bear it, then your muscle ends up tightening. So what you gotta want to do is you want to relax and let the ball sink right in. Spend about 2 to 3 minutes on each muscle group that we've went over today. Good.